You're born on Komodo Island, tucked away in a hole that feels more like a sauna with no exit. As you crack open that eggshell, you're probably wondering what your mom looks like, except there's nothing here. No, you're on your own from the get-go. And that's not even the worst part. You see, in the Komodo dragon world, even your siblings could be your worst enemies. You might be lucky enough to be the first one to hatch, so before you even think about taking your first breath, you've got to get the heck out of there fast. Scramble up the nearest tree like your life depends on it, because it quite literally does. You're not just avoiding your siblings, you're dodging hungry adults who wouldn't mind a bite-sized snack like you. To them, you're just a free McNugget. So there you are, clinging to a tree branch, getting your first real look at the world. For now, just focus on surviving your first few days, because the real adventure's just beginning. For the next few months, you're on a strict no-ground diet, because down there it's a jungle in the most literal sense, where every step could be your last. Imagine living on the 50th floor of a skyscraper because the streets are filled with zombies. Yeah, it's kind of like that, only instead of zombies, it's your very own kin patrolling the ground, all ready to take a bite out of anything that moves. You're not completely defenseless, though. You've got instincts, quick reflexes, and a strong survival instinct that kicks in from day one. Plus, you've inherited a handy little trick, the art of camouflage. With your molted brown and green scales, you blend right into the leaves and bark, making it that much harder for anything hungry to spot you. Think of it as your very own invisibility cloak, but instead of dodging wizards and Hogwarts, you're avoiding becoming someone's lunch. At this stage, your life is all about survival 101. Find food, stay hidden, and whatever you do, don't fall out of the tree. Your diet's about as varied as a college student's during finals week, whatever you can scavenge or catch, from insects and small lizards to the occasional bird that's too slow for its own good. Every meal's a victory, and every day you avoid becoming a meal is an even bigger win. But don't get too comfortable in that tree, because soon you're going to have to face the real world down below. And trust me, that's when things really start to get interesting. You're no longer that helpless hatchling clinging to a branch for dear life. Now you're ready to start exploring the wild world of Komodo Island. Your first few steps on solid ground are like a toddler taking their first wobbly steps, except in your case, the stakes are a bit higher. Every rustle in the bushes could be a potential meal or a threat, and your senses are on high alert. It's basically hardcore Minecraft, but in real life. Now, in most animal worlds, this would be the part where mom swoops in to show you the ropes, but as we've established, Komodo moms aren't exactly the nurturing type. Instead, you're left to figure out things on your own, and that means a lot of trial and error. Your days are filled with mini-missions, stalking unsuspecting critters, practicing your stealth moves, and trying not to end up on the menu of a bigger predator. It's all part of the learning curve, and you're slowly but surely getting the hang of it. At first, your hunts are more hide-and-seek than stealthy predator. You'll spend hours lying in wait trying to blend in with the underbrush, your heart pounding like a drum as you watch a potential meal scuttle by. Or get swept up by a much more experienced dragon. Show off. But when you finally nail that first successful hunt, it's like winning the lottery of lizards and rats. As you grow, so does your confidence. You're exploring further from your original tree, pushing boundaries, and generally acting like the reptilian version of a rebellious teenager. Each day, you become a little more daring, a little more skilled, and a lot less likely to end up as someone else's dinner. But it's not all smooth sailing. Remember those siblings you escaped from at birth? They're still around, and now it's time for some good old-fashioned sibling rivalry. And the prize is, well, not dying. As you transition from Komodo teen to adulthood, you start to realize that the world is both bigger and smaller than you once thought. The island is vast, but it's also crowded with other dragons, each staking their claim to the best hunting grounds. It's time to find your own territory. Think of it like moving out of your parents' basement and into your first flat. Except your parents never had a basement and your family's been trying to eat you this whole time. Finding territory is like trying to score the last available seat at a sold-out concert. It takes luck, strategy, and probably a scuffle or two. You'll roam across Komodo Island, covering miles of rugged terrain, scanning for that perfect spot. Once you find a potential territory, the real challenge begins. Making it yours. Imagine walking for hours to find the perfect spot, only to discover that it's already been taken by a dragon twice your size. Now you've got a choice. Try to negotiate, which, let's be honest, is going to end in a fight, or keep moving and hope for a less crowded patch of land. Now that you've got your territory, and congrats by the way, it's time to settle into the daily routine of a full-fledged Komodo dragon. Your schedule's a mix of hunting, patrolling, and catching up on sleep. Lots and lots of sleep. You're not one to waste energy, so when you hunt, you go big. One large meal a week is your style, something that'll keep you satisfied for days. You're aiming for deer, wild boar, or even the occasional water buffalo. Your hunting style's all about patience and precision. You lie in wait, blending into the landscape until the perfect moment to strike. It's a high-stakes game of hide and seek, where the prize is dinner and the cost of losing is another day of hunger. But when you do succeed, it's worth the wait. You'll feast like a king and then slip into a food coma that'll make a Thanksgiving nap look like a quick power snooze. As you reach full maturity at around 7 to 10 years, you start taking extra notice of other female Komodos roaming around. That's your urge to mate kicking in. Mating season's like the ultimate dating game. You're sizing up potential partners with a mix of curiosity and caution. For male dragons, the competition's fierce. You've got to prove your worth to the ladies, and that means showing off your strength, size, and survival skills. If a female finds you impressive, she might just let you get close enough to mate. Just don't screw up your chance because the competition's tough and your brother might just be waiting in line. Once you've successfully mated, your job isn't quite done. If you're a female, you'll lay your eggs in a carefully selected spot, burying them deep to protect them from predators. After that, it's back to a solitary life, leaving the next generation to fend for themselves just like you did. You've somehow made it past 10 years and all the way to 15. Congratulations. In the wild world of Komodo dragons, that's like reaching your 90s with all your teeth intact. But here's the thing, you're not as quick as you used to be, and those once impressive muscles aren't quite as strong. You've earned every scar, every notch on your scales, but now survival requires a different kind of strength, one that comes from experience and wisdom rather than brute force. But with age comes new challenges, and you knew this day would come. Another younger dragon wants your territory, and this battle might be your last. The young dragon's eager, strong, and even reminds you of yourself when you first went out to get your own territory. Hey, it might even be your own son, who knows? Komodo dragons aren't exactly great parents. This fight is different from the others you've had. Although you're older and wiser, you're also more vulnerable. Your opponent's fast, relentless, and every blow feels a little harder than the last. But you're not about to go down without a fight. You dig deep, drawing on every ounce of strength and every trick you've learned over the years. In the end, it's a close call. Maybe you win, driving the challenger away one last time. Or maybe you lose, forced to retreat to the fringes of your territory, battered but not broken. Either way, this fight marks the beginning of the end. You've held your ground for years, but now it's clear that the balance of power is shifting. The jungle's a harsh place, and even the strongest can't rule forever. After years of ruling your territory, you give one last growl. And now, as you feel the weight of time pressing down, you know that the jungle will continue with or without you. As the end approaches, you find a quiet spot to rest, somewhere safe from the constant struggle for survival. You lie down, feeling the warmth of the sun on your scales, and close your eyes. The world keeps turning, the cycle continues, and somewhere out there a new dragon is hatching, ready to begin the journey you've just completed.